far away and o'er the moor. Far away and o'er the moor. Far away and o'er the moor. Morar waits for a boat that saileth far away down Lowland way. I dream the dream I learned, lad, by the light of the peat fire flame. Light for love, for lilt, for laughter, by the light of the peat fire flame. The light the hill folk yearn for. Far away and o'er the moor. Far away down Lowland way, grim's the toil without tune or dream, lad. All you need's a creel and love for the dream the heart can dream, lad. By the light of the peat fire flame, light for love, for lilt, for laughter, by the light of the peat fire flame, the light the hill folk yearn for. Far away and o'er the moor. Far away the tramp and tread, tune and laughter of all the heroes pulls me onward o'er the trail of the dream my heart may dream, lad. By the light of the peat fire flame, light for love, for lilt, for laughter, by the light of the peat fire flame, the light the hill folk yearn for. One more road, one more hill, one more stony shore, one more river to cross until we're going home once more. To friends we had and foes we had and those who held us dear, we raise a glass to lad and lass at turning of the year. Friend or foe, we wish you ease, however far you roam, who sail the 7 salty seas or walk the hills of home. To friends we had and foes we had and those who held us dear, we raise a glass to lad and lass at turning of the year. We raise a glass to lad and lass at turning of the year. Welcome to our Turning of the Year mini concert. We're at Carol's home. This is Carol McIntyre. I'm Michael O'Leary. We're at Carol's home in Ipswich, and we're doing this to sort of make up for missing the annual gig in Rockport. Rockport New Year's Eve. Rockport has a fabulous New Year's every year. They've been doing it for would have been 25 years this year. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. And we had a great set put together for that, and it got canceled for obvious reasons. So we thought we would just put together some of we're going to do about half of the set we were going to do for New Year's in Rockport, with a focus on turning of the year. Carol still has her Christmas tree up because today's Epiphany, and I'm a believer in keeping your Christmas decorations up to Epiphany. So this is, some people would say this is the 12th day of Christmas. Some people would say yesterday is the 12th day, whatever. But it's the end of Christmastide. And so welcome. glad you could join us. And that first song we did, it's a new song for me. I just learned it a few months ago. I learned it from Lynn Noel. It was on a CD. She self-produced. It's a song from Scotland, and the original is in Scots Gaelic. And Kenneth MacLeod, who was the editor of Songs of the Hebrides, translated it, or kind of adapted and translated it, and he thought of it as a companion piece to a much better known song called Road to the Isles. And it's called PEAT Fire Flame, or alternate name is called Fireside. There's actually a very, very old Scottish fiddle tune called PEAT Fire Flame, and then these are lyrics that fit the melody. And great tune to start with. Here we are sitting by the fire. It's not a peat fire, but we actually have a couple of pieces of peat that we threw into the fire. Those of you who don't know what peat is, which some people don't, it's in Ireland they call it turf. It's actually fuel. It's ancient fuel. It's like coal in its very early stages. It burns well, it burns slow. People have cooked with it, heated with it. So that's what this song is about. The light the hill folk yearn for, by the light of the peat fire flame. So we tossed in a couple little pieces of peat to kind of make it a sort of a peat fire. And the other song we did, just a little bit of a song I've been doing around New Year's for a very long time, called Turning of the Year. It was actually a poem written by Judy Goodenow, who was actually a poet from Massachusetts. She lived west of Boston. But occasionally she'd write lyrics that she thought that they were more of a song, and she would send them to singers, including Gordon Bach. Gordon Bach up in Maine. He set several of her poems, songs to music, and that's one of them. Just a beautiful song. We just did a couple, there's actually 4 verses to it. We just did a couple, kind of focusing on the hills and the roaming. The Peat Fire is what they call a tramping song. It kind of, the yearning, you can just tell in the yearning of that song, the person singing it wants to be away from the lowlands, probably out of the city, and out on the moors where they gather and burn the peat. So I'm going to turn it over to Carol. She's going to do a piece.
I'm going to play a melody composed by Maeve Gilchrist. She's a phenomenal harpist that's come over from Scotland and lives in New York and teaches at Berklee College of Music. And she's added so much to our harp world with her innovations and her sensibility. And I just love her and I love her music, so I wanted to learn this tune. And it's actually a good one for this time. It's called The Calm.
Beautiful. Every time she plays that, it just gets to me.
Well, thank you, Maeve, for
Thank you, Maeve.
composing such beautiful.
Just gorgeous. Wow. So, with COVID, I and Carol and a lot of musicians, of course, we haven't gotten to sing and play a lot. There's been more and more online. This is our first kind of venture into that, kind of latecomers to that whole scene. So we haven't gotten to play out very, very little. But this past year, I was asked, and Carol was involved in a couple of these. We were asked to do a baby blessing ceremony at the beginning of the summer, outdoors at Old Garden Beach overlooking the ocean. And then we were asked to play at a graveside service on a rainy day in July. Of course, if it was July, it was rainy. And then in August, Carol was up in Maine for some reason for 2 months. I mean, why would you go to Maine for 2 months that time of year? Her favorite place in the world other than Ipswich. And I was asked to sing at the memorial service for the woman who had passed away, that we'd done her graveside service, and then also a wedding on the very same day. And we had a whole little mini set worked up, tying the pieces together from all of those. But I'm just going to sing the last song of that little medley. And it was a song from the memorial service. It was at the Annisquam Village Church in Gloucester. Beautiful church with just incredible acoustics. And the service was for Kari Gunn, who was a long time resident of Annisquam and Gloucester, just a wonderful woman. I'm friends with both of her daughters, Mary Helen and Catherine, and I've known her for a long time. And this was a song, and I'll just pause here and say, I'm from Yankton, South Dakota originally, and if any of my Yankton peeps by chance are seeing this, wherever this ends up on YouTube or Facebook, I just have to share with you that Kari's grandfather taught at Yankton College back in like the early 1900s, and her father went to Yankton High School. So it's amazing to think that we went to the same high school, and she has memorabilia from that era. So very, very special woman, and even more special to me because of that. But she requested a song to be sung at her memorial service at the end, and that's the song we're going to do now. And I was thrilled to learn this song because it's a song I've been familiar with since I was like 9 or 10 years old, and if you're a boomer, you were too. It's from 1964. You're going to recognize it. But I knew the opening chorus. I never knew all the lyrics. So thank you, Kari, for this song. So that I could learn it, we could learn it, and sing along in the chorus. A lot of you are gonna know this. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. 1,000,000 tomorrow shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Oh, I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover, you'll know who I am by the songs that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover, who cares what tomorrow shall bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. 1,000,000 tomorrow shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glory, I can't live on promises winter to spring. Today is my moment and now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. 1,000,000 tomorrow shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. So, this being again, I'm going to call it the 12th day of Christmas. What could I do to honor that? Well, I could do the 12 days of Christmas, but of course, you don't want to sit through all of that. Neither do I. But a little twist to that. There's actually a Gloucester. I live in Gloucester, Massachusetts, the oldest, one of the oldest seaports in America. Definitely the oldest fishing port, commercial fishing port. I have adapted the 12 Days of Christmas, given it a Gloucester twist, and I call it the 12 Dories of Christmas. A lot of you know what a dory is, but for those of you who don't, it's a classic wooden small fishing boat. If you're from Ireland, it's like a curragh. You can look it up. D-O-R-Y is a dory. And I have a very good friend. This part of this song is to honor him, Captain Gino Mondello, who has the dory shop in Gloucester. He builds, repairs classic, what they call Cape Ann dories, and other small vessels, and he's part of Maritime Gloucester right there on the waterfront in Gloucester. So he's kind of featured in this song. But instead of days of Christmas, it's dories. So it's the 12 Dories of Christmas. And I'm just going to do the last day, which gets all the days, of course. So here we go. So Gino, this is for you. Gloucester, this is for you. So if I could have a C note, please. In the 12th dory of Christmas, Captain Gino gave to me 12 swordfish slashing, 11 flounders flopping, 10 tuna schooling, 9 cod canoodling, 8 skates a skimming, 7 silvery herring, 6 squids a squirting, 5 lively lobsters, 4 rowing oars, 3 thole pins, 2 tub trawls, and a Gloucester man in a dory. Happy 12th day of Christmas and Epiphany. Carol, well, actually, this is going to be our closing little set. that we're going to do together.
Yes.
Carol's going to start it with a harp piece. And the harp piece is this. You want to talk about it?
It's an instrumental version of a song called Da Day Dawn.
And
It's the lyrics are, it's the dawning of the turning of the year. It's the coming of the growing of the light. It's the leaving by of what is past and done. It's the turning round and facing to the sun. It's the day dawn of the new year. Say, rouse up and open your doors, and come show good friendship and cheer at the dawning of the turning of the year.
So this is actually, those lyrics are actually new. And it's actually it goes back as an instrumental to the Shetland Islands. And the tradition is that the night watchman in the town of Lerwick would play this on his night watch on New Year's Eve as it crossed over into the new year.
He
And
walked up and down the streets.
he's a bit of a January man, which is going to lead into the song after this. The January man, he walks abroad in woolen coat and boots of leather. The February man, he shakes the snow from off his coat and blows his hands. The man of March, he sees the spring and wonders what the year will bring, and hopes for better weather. Through April rain the man goes down to watch the birds come in to share the summer. The man in May stands very still, watching the children dance away the day. In June the man inside the man is young and wants to lend a hand, and he smiles at each newcomer. Then in July, the man in cotton shirt, he sits and thinks of being idle. The August man in thousands takes the road to find the sun and watch the sea. September man is standing near to saddle up and lead the year, and autumn is his bridle. Then the man of new October takes the reins, and early frost is on his shoulder. The poor November man sees fire and wind and mist and rain and winter air. December man looks through the snow to let 11 brothers know they're all a little older. Then the January man comes around again in woolen coat and boots of leather, to take another turn and walk along the icy road he knows so well. The January man is here at the start of this and every year, along the road forever. The January Man. That's a song written by Dave Goulder, an Englishman, who's a man of many trades and skills and talents, and I first learned that from Frank Hart, the great Irish singer and song collector. So that is our mini, you know how PBS has mini desktop concerts? This was our mini fireside concert. And even the fire has died down a bit at the end. So thank you for joining us. I will post, it'd be great if, I know a lot of musicians do this, they kind of like have a virtual tip jar. So I'll post something like that, and it'd be great if you can tip something. That'd be greatly appreciated. And I just want to acknowledge our camera and sound person, Scott Woolette from Raleigh, Massachusetts, volunteered to take on this project and do this for us. So
we're so grateful to you. Thank you, Scott. And Happy New Year.
Yeah. So
happy goodness gracious.
Yeah. So
2022.
So thank you for being with us, and we hope to see you somewhere live in the coming months and throughout the year. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.